Welcome, Philly, to your favorite sports show, Babes on Broad, hosted by Jesse Town and Sam Wilson. They're smart, they're sexy, and they're all Philly. So thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy the show. Babes on Broad.
Hello and welcome into week 7 of Babes on Broad pregame live. Okay, I am Sam Wilson with my co-host Jesse Town, and we are the Babes on Broad, brought to you by Bleeding Green Nation and SB Nation. We want to thank everybody right away for tuning in to week 7. Since it was a short week because of Thursday night football, we didn't get a chance to get our second podcast out breaking down the matchup with the Giants. So for the second straight week, we thought we'd do it with you guys live and break it down with you guys, get all your tailgate, well, I guess pregame kind of things that you guys are doing, and then your breakdowns for the game as well. So, talking about the tailgate, what are you drinking, Jess? It's out of a wine glass.
It is, and it says, and you can't see it with my head, it says Eagles Girl on it. It's one of those really little cute ones, my Eagles wine glass. I'm drinking some rosé. I'm a rosé all day, basic chick over here today. What are you drinking?
I like it. So lately I've been an IPA person. I'm not sure how it really happened. I guess it was Dion, and he got me on the Trogs. So we kind of just always go to the store and get different Trogs that we never had and do a variety pack. So it's called Trogs Haze Charmer, and it's delicious. I like it. I'm not a big dark beer person, so I like the light beer. Yeah, I guess they say it has hops. I don't know what that means. Whatever those young kids are saying.
Yeah, whatever those IPA terms are. Because I'm not a big IPA person either, but I like perpetuals.
That's Dion's favorite.
So how does that, do you like the perpetuals, and how does the one you're drinking compare to a perpetual?
Okay. I drink it out of a wine glass usually because I like it better out of a glass. Let me do it.
See? Yep.
So it's very similar in the fact that it has like a citrusy kind of floral light taste to it. I would just say it's a little bit more hoppy.
Okay, fair enough. Sounds good. Yeah. And what are you making for dinner tonight? What are you guys eating while you're
It's so funny because I always plan our dinners at the beginning of the week, and I didn't even think about Thursday night football, so it totally does not go with the theme at all. We're doing salmon salad. So It doesn't go with the theme, but it's a delicious meal. So you make salad, whatever you like with it, and then so we just do it simple like Caesar. Yeah. So just salad, croutons, some fresh shredded Parm cheese on there. I add tomatoes, and then we'll add the salmon.
And you just chuck some salmon on top. I like it. Yeah. I make the chicken enchilada soup. It was one of our recipes of the week last year, and it's on our Instagram. It's on our website. It's one of my favorite things to make in the crock pot. It's I love when you can just put a bunch of crap in the crock pot. And so it's It's chicken stock, onion, garlic, chicken breasts, black beans, corn, red enchilada sauce, chilies, and a bunch of spices, and it's just so good. So good. I can't wait. And it also, it makes so much that we'll have it for dinner tonight, and we'll have it for lunch and dinner tomorrow, and it's just sensational.
I love it. That's the best way to do it.
All right. Well, now that we've got all that good stuff out of the way, let's really quick really quick with this injury report of 19 people.
Yeah, right.
Let's run through the injury report. Alshon Jeffrey, once again, still out. Chewing up a spot. Woo! Love it. Everything you love to see. Jack Driscoll is out with an ankle injury that he sustained last week, which is also a big factor in why Lane Johnson is playing tonight, because he basically said, I couldn't sit off to the side and watch Carson get beat the hell up anymore. And I appreciate that. Apparently it would have been good for him to have another week to rest, but I appreciate that he's like, you know what, I can't watch.
And I'm sure it went into the factor in with it too, is the fact that he does play tonight and then they don't play until next Sunday against the Cowboys, and then they have the bye week. So he just has to really grind through these next 2 games, and then he gets a whole week. So
yes, and please excuse the guard dog that you're about to hear in the background. The fiance just got home from football practice. But so Malik Jackson is also out. I'm not going to lie to you. Didn't even realize he got hurt until yesterday.
Yeah, same.
Missed that, I guess. There was so much else going on. Apparently, I missed that. Miles Sanders obviously is out. Kayvon Wallace is out with that shoulder. Zach Ertz was just placed on IR today. We got an updated version of his timetable, which now is apparently a little bit lengthier. It's that 4 to 6 weeks instead of the 3 to 4 they were hoping. But as we said, Lane Johnson's back. Matt Pryor is back off of the COVID list. He was exposed to it. He didn't have it. He was exposed. And Deshaun Jackson's back. I know a lot of people are willing to like totally abandon that reunion already. I'm not there yet because I love Deshaun. So I'm still holding out some hope. We'll talk about that in our prop bets later. But what is your feeling on Deshaun Jackson coming back?
I think it will work to this week. I think it's a good time just because it's a division game. You know what I mean? So I think that it'll help them, especially with Travis Fulgham. Maybe they'll think that like Deshaun's had success against division rivals in the past when he did play. And I'm kind of hoping that'll help them spread out the ball so not everybody's focused on like Fulgham and Ward only. So I'm hoping it works out. I don't know if it's our answer. I don't think it's our answer. But for today's game, I think it could help.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Especially so they've got Adrian Colbert is out, one of their safeties. Darnay Holmes, one of their corners, is questionable. Did we find out if he's playing or not?
The last I looked was like 5:30, and I couldn't find anything on it.
Let's see.
If anybody knows in the mentions, add it in.
If anybody knows in the comments, please feel free to go out there. I do know Sterling Shepard was activated off of the IR today.
Okay.
He was activated for this game. So I guess we'll see if he is helpful at all. Another one of their receivers, CJ Board, is also out with a concussion. So obviously, their big injury of the year is Saquon Barkley tearing his ACL. Not having Saquon, after doing a little bit to also what's not on here as well is they had suspended their first round pick, their new left tackle for conduct detrimental to the team or whatever. So something he did wrong. But he's back this week. So my point is after spending a little bit of putting some emphasis on that offensive line to be able to protect Daniel Jones as well as, get something going for Saquon. Losing Saquon is huge to them and huge to their offense because once again, that he had that injury last year, but once again, Daniel Jones is kind of all on his own and doesn't have that running back to kind of fall back on a little bit and to get him out of some jams and to be able to rely on to also, keep some hits and keep some pressure off him.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Daniel Jones right now is like that poor guy. He's just set up in a lose-lose situation without Saquon. So, I mean, they do get that lineman back today, but at the same time, they won last week, their first game without him. So, I mean, I don't know how much of an impact he's truly going to have. It will help him a little bit for the fact that he is their leading rusher, Daniel Jones is, and then he also has Darius Slayton, who's his go-to. So,
Darius Slayton, Darius Slayton. We're going to throw that in.
So funny.
How many times the announcer is going to screw that up later?
That's funny.
That's one we'll talk about for sure. So, okay, let's kind of get into breaking down this matchup. So, the Giants, the New York Football Giants, have not scored more than 16 points outside of the division. They scored 34 points against the Cowboys, and that defense has more holes than Swiss cheese.
So that's not
really terrible. And they put up 20 against the Washington football team last week as well. So, Daniel Jones through 6 games, he's 123 for 201, about 1,200 passing yards, only 3 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. On the other side, Carson, 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. Obviously, the interceptions were a problem early. He's starting to clean that up, which is better. But as you mentioned, he leads the team with 204 rushing yards.
Yeah. But with those 204 rushing yards, he has 0 touchdowns, which Carson, he obviously has some help with his rushing game around him. He still has 171 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns, which is awesome. And then, I mean, obviously Carson has 2 fumbles, but Daniel Jones has 1, so you don't, whatever. Daniel Jones, though, has been sacked 17 times this year. And then
do you know where that ranks in comparison to Carson? Because I know Carson is the most sacked quarterback.
No, I didn't see it on a list. I just looked it up to see how many he was. But yeah, and then Carson obviously you just said is the most with 25 sacks. LOL, I put in there for you. So
God.
I mean,
It's not going to get any better.
no, it's tough because I mean, obviously Carson is the much better quarterback of the two, but like it's just so sad for Daniel Jones. You can't harp on him too much. I mean,
Is
the
it
poor
sad?
guy.
Is it
Huh?
sad? Is it sad though?
No, but that's also my thing too, is I kind of hate doing stats for division games just because like it kind of doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of where that falls, okay. So Carson Wentz is number 1 in the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, 25 sacks. Joe Burrow is next with 24, Deshaun Watson 19, Gardner Minshew 17, and Daniel Jones also 17. So he's the 5th most sacked quarterback in the NFL.
So up there.
Yeah, so up there. And obviously, Carson Wentz is the better quarterback of the two, and Carson's starting to just I think, for so long he was trying to be coached out of doing that escape, scramble, run thing. He was doing that little duck maneuver so much more. I think now with this offensive line, he's kind of at the point where he's just like,
If I don't have it, I don't have it. Yeah.
I just got to do it. And
Yeah.
as much as I hate that in terms of his long-term durability, that's what makes him. And that's when he's at his best, when he's just kind of feeling it and going for it. And the
scrappy kind of play.
Yeah, as a fan who wants him to protect himself, I hate it. But as a fan who wants to win games, like you just need Carson to be Carson.
Yeah,
that's when you're going to be the most successful. But I think continuing along the sacks kind of thing there, the Eagles are starting to get some hits in there. They're starting to do really well. The defense has 21 sacks, 2 interceptions, and a touchdown. The New York defense only has 15 sacks, but for a guy that's one of the, in that top 5 of most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL, of Daniel Jones, this is a good time for Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Hassan Ridgeway,
yeah,
and Brandon Graham, who, oh, by the way, is the first Eagle since Jason Babin in 2011 to have 5 sacks and 8 tackles for loss through the first 6 games. He is on pace to surpass his Super Bowl season where he had 10 sacks. I would love to see a nice little primetime show from this defensive line tonight.
Yeah, that would be absolutely incredible. And that's what, I mean, it all just goes down the division games. It's the first one. Well, second one, technically. Washington, forgot about them. But so the second division so the second division game that we're seeing so far this year, and it's just all up in the air. Emotions are all there, you know what I mean? So Fletcher Cox, I hope we see, because I mean it's week after week after week, we're like, Fletcher's gonna show up, Fletcher's gonna show up, Fletcher's gonna show up. I hope today is when he really, because of that emotion, Fletcher shows up. And it'd be fun to see. So I mean it's a perfect time. Like, and that's the thing is like the Giants are not good. Yes, this is a division game. Yes, anything can happen. You never know, blah, blah, blah. But with that being said, like both teams' emotions should rise them up. And in that case, the Eagles should be the better team and it should have no problem.
Sure. So with that, what are your keys to the game on the offensive side of the ball for the Eagles to be able to come out with the win today?
So, I mean, obviously we need the O-line to do their job and protect Carson today. But my biggest thing is the offense as a whole, just getting on the board early. Because last week, that's what hurt them the most. They went down 17-0 by halftime. And then they came back. They outscored them, whatever, they had 27 or whatever in the second quarter or in the second half to 13. So they can't keep sitting back and just waiting until the third and fourth quarter to do something. Today, they need to, because of that division head-to-head thing, like they have to come out early and put some points on the board early.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it week in and week out. They have to be efficient and effective, and they haven't been for the entire game. And they have to be able to do it for 4 quarters. They have to put together a full 4-quarter offensive game. And this, again, reminds me of a couple years ago. It was the year after they won the Super Bowl. They had a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. They got torched and embarrassed by the Vikings at home. It was awful. And then they went on Thursday night. And again, the Giants were bad. It was a rainy Thursday. But they went out and they put together 4 quarters of efficient football in all 3 phases of the game. They had a special teams turnover. The defense, I think, held Saquon to, he had 1 touchdown, but it was under 100 yards, I believe. And the offense, scored points. And again, it was a wet night. It was it could have been a messy football game. And they did what they had to do to win. And this comment that we just got is absolutely true. No 3 and out on the first possession. They have to start fast. They got to utilize what works. Use some of the tempo, do what makes Carson comfortable, get the ball moving quick. And, they have to try to get a run game involved. I obviously know that without Miles Sanders, it's a little bit more difficult without your, and we've been, again, Saquon's not there, but this is something that we've been hoping we were going to get this Miles Sanders, Saquon Barkley thing at some point to, maybe get a little bit of a on the ground show. And that's just not happened yet. But yeah. I think a good thing that, they could build on is Boston Scott absolutely humiliated this Giants team last year in a must-win situation. This is a less of a crucial must-win situation, but when you're sitting at 1-4-1, you got to start winning games at some point. I mean, Here's the thing. The Eagles can still mathematically, the division winner of the NFC East can mathematically win the division at 5-10-1 or 5-11. Like, that's possible.
Jeez.
They could literally have a top 10 draft pick that will probably be screwed up, but also win that is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
And it could happen, too, because if you think about it, the Eagles, so they should get this win against the Giants. They should get the next one. And then they should get that last game against Washington. I don't know. I still, for some reason, think they split with the Cowboys, unfortunately. So that's 5 wins. That's 4 division, hopefully, that you get. And that's 5. So we'll see about it.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Let's host a playoff game.
These champs, baby.
Let's go. Host a playoff game. You won't.
You won't.
You won't do it.
So with that being said, what do you need to do on the defense tonight to get the win?
So I think you got to rattle Daniel Jones. One of my favorite things that we've learned about the Eagles over the last couple of years with the different, with the players being mic'd up, and also with the All or Nothing that was on Amazon Prime, and the different footage you see from the Super Bowl season. Brandon Graham does not shut up. It doesn't matter what the score is. He doesn't stop talking trash. And I think it's one of my favorite things in the world. So if he can also, if he starts rolling a little bit, he does it to get in the other team's head. But if he starts going, I don't know how you can not get frustrated. So I hope he starts going off and talking all kinds of trash to these rookie offensive linemen and Daniel Jones. I think it'll be absolutely phenomenal. But Daniel Jones also has a little bit of a fumbling issue. They're relying on him to win games, obviously, without Saquon. Get some hits on him. This line is a little bit better than it was last year. Still not great. Like I said before, Brandon Graham is on an absolute roll so far this season, on pace for another 10-sack season. So I think that if the defensive line can get going, I hope it doesn't come down to our linebackers for the umpteenth time. But I think on the back end, we'll be okay. I just think you got to make Daniel Jones uncomfortable. You got to get some hits on him. And, if he's their leading rusher to this point, don't let him get by you. Even last week, they did a fairly decent job with Lamar Jackson, who is the best of the best in terms of that. Probably since Michael Vick. So the run defense doesn't concern me. They're fine. It's a matter of getting to the quarterback, getting those pressures, and forcing some turnovers to get your offense in the best position to, put the foot on the gas and, step on the jugular and don't let up.
Fun fact, Jess, Nate Gary leads the team in tackles. So probably because he gets targeted all the time and he just gets lucky. But no, I'm totally with you. They need to put pressure on Jones today. But I think the biggest matchup, which hopefully shouldn't be a problem, is obviously going to be Darius Slay on Darius Slayton. So as long as Darius Slay can cover Darius Slayton and get that and take him away from being Jones, he seems to kind of be Jones is like fallback for the season. It's really like his top guy. So as long as Slay can carry, I'm going to say hold down Slayton, then we should be good. I think that's the biggest matchup. And then also, I think we can't count out Golden Tate. He hasn't had the best season, but I think I know, but he's always somebody. I feel like whenever the Eagles play him, ever since he's been with the Giants, I feel like he's just gone off and had his revenge game. And you're just like, who are you?
I think he's.
But so you can't count him out. So I think they need to lock him down as well.
All right. With that, what is your final score prediction for today?
Okay. So I have it written down 27-23. And how I always think about it and like create them is I go through my analysis of the game and then I picture how many scores and like what kind of scores they can get and I add them up. Okay. So say 27-23. But all the optimism that we've had in our comments so far make me want to have it a bigger gap. So I think I might lower it to 27-20.
Okay.
I know. That's Craig. That's what I'm saying.
I love Craig. Craig is one of my favorite of our pregame show. It really
Me too. He's the best. So because of all that, the influencers in our comments, I think I'm going to go 27-20. What about you?
While we're talking about this, continue to flood our comments with your final score prediction. I think the Eagles are going to absolutely blow this team out of the
I want that bone-crushing win today. I want it.
I feel it. And you know what? I call me crazy. I still really believe in this team. I think I'm certifiably insane.
Wait, Chris had a comment.
Where? Let's see.
I like it. I like the optimism. I don't know if I see it, but at the same time, if guys start coming back from injuries, we start getting that flow. Carson holds us up until then.
That started out getting blown out by the Ravens, and then they went on to go to the see?
Never know.
Hey, it is what it is. 27-10, go Birds. 23-10, Philly. See, last week, now granted, this is not as good of a football team as we played last week. But
thank God we played them before in Ngakwe, right?
Also, what are the Vikings doing? Can someone let me know what's in the water up there? Like they're not doing it right now. That's a terrible idea.
Steph Diggs and then getting rid of Ngakwe. We'll see.
Yeah, that's silly is what it is. And paying Kurt $80 million guaranteed. If I die, I die. Anyway, I think they're going to blow this team out of the water. I think that they are finally going to have a complete game in all three phases. The offense is going to absolutely roll. Deshaun is going to come back with a vengeance. The defense is going to wreak havoc. I am trying so hard to censor myself and not go on a rant.
We're feeling it today.
I am feeling it. I feel good. They're going to do it. I am predicting a 35-17 win. And that touchdown for the Giants comes in garbage time when they've got rookies out there just chilling and trying not to let up touchdowns. 2 touchdowns for Deshaun. I like it.
It's very possible. I mean, Deshaun could come out. You never know what the coaches are thinking about him because we also said this week 1 against Washington that he was going to come out and do something, and then they load managed him. So we'll see. But I do think that it's going to help so much with Fulgham and Ward to open that up. So he could be the one that they're not worried about, and they just toss him along down the field and get some.
Let me ask you this question. After everything that's kind of come out about the power struggle, about Howie Roseman saying who dresses and who doesn't, how much do you think that load management was on Doug versus Howie?
Oh, 100%. Actually not 100%. I would lean more towards Howie just for the fact that he's the one that deals with the money and is like kind of bringing guys in just, you know what I mean? So I would say that it's more Howie, but you never know because it's just hard for me to believe that a head coach is going to be like, I know what's best for the team, but you make the shots. You know what I mean? It's so hard for me to believe that. So I don't know. But
So what are the chances?
What are your opinions?
That Deshaun is back and Doug is just like, screw it. Let's go.
Dude, I think that's how you have to be. I mean, you load managed him and he was still out. How many games did he miss so far? 3, 4? So what did that do you? You might as well just throw him out there, get what you can from him. Come on.
Let him go.
You have to. You have to.
Run down the sideline. Every other offensive play, Deshaun running down the sideline. It's not that hard. Carson will find him one time or another.
If I don't see it, honestly, I'll be very disappointed.
I will probably cry.
Yeah.
All right. One more. There's only one more NFC East game happening this weekend because Dallas and the football team are playing each other. So what is your prediction for Dallas at Washington on Sunday?
So I don't think that Washington, both teams are just to me. So I just am going off of it's Washington playing another NFC East team back to back. I don't think they're going to want to lose 2 in a row. You know what I mean? And the Cowboys can't really stop them much. So I'm going to say 21-20 Washington.
Yeah, I've got 24-17 Washington. I just think they're the better team. And Cowboys are bad, dude. They're bad.
Not saying much, but
timeout.
Everything
timeout.
I forgot about that.
All right, we have to talk about this for a hot sec before we get into our prop bets. We have to bring this up because you and I talked about this a little bit, and I actually talked about this with Joe as well. And Joe, as a football coach, had a very different opinion than I did. And so here, I will lay it out for you. So in my opinion, I think that one of the questions that we got earlier this week in our podcast was the question about should JJ Arcega-Whiteside have been celebrating that ridiculous fumble recovery for a touchdown? And my opinion was it was ridiculous because he hasn't done anything to this point. However, you're losing by 1 million. You're getting blown out. You can't get anything going. And he was still blocking 70 yards downfield.
That was his best part on that play.
So exactly. Blocking 70 yards downfield, which is phenomenal in itself. The hustle there is, I love to see it. And then having the wherewithal to make sure that he recovers that fumble and it scores a touchdown and it's not a touchback for the opposing team. That goes, as much as we want to give Doug Peterson and the coaching staff a hard time for this season, that goes back to coaching. And it shows you something that these guys love playing for Doug Peterson. No matter how much they're winning or losing by, they are constantly hustling. They never quit, and they always have fight in them. And it doesn't matter if it's all the starters or the backups. Like, that's what Doug Peterson has built in this locker room. And Joe's opinion was kind of like, it's like when you get blown out by a team and then go to shake the other coach's hand, and he goes, "Oh, your team plays hard, coach." It's like, all right, that's enough. And I get that, but also continuing to that point, then this week it comes out that a bunch of Cowboys players are saying the coaching staff isn't good at their jobs. They don't come prepared. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to make in-game adjustments. And now when Aaron Rodgers said that, he was a terrible person and you couldn't work with him. He was a horrible teammate, this, that, and the other thing. But maybe he was onto something. 5 years of Doug Peterson, and I know he won a Super Bowl, so he gets a little extra leeway. I get that, and I support that. But even in that, there's never been a Doug Peterson has lost the locker room conversation. It took games in Dallas.
Yeah. I mean, that coming out is huge, obviously. But it also, it makes me think of what happened to us with our anonymous. And I think it's like, one, would you rather the bad talk come out about your quarterback or your head coach?
There he is. There he is.
But so one though is, would you rather it be on your quarterback or your head coach? Probably your quarterback, just because he's lower in the hierarchy.
I would think quarterback, but that's also because now there's never been a confirmation, but we have a pretty good idea of who it was that went to Josina Anderson, and I just would like to point out that last week on 4th and 9, when Carson was running for his life and got hit and threw that ball into double coverage to Travis Fulgham, he came down with the ball as opposed to when they were trying to complete a comeback against the Panthers in 2018 and someone didn't catch the ball and then proceeded to say even Peyton Manning knew when to check it down on 4th down.
Okay, fair enough.
So I would prefer quarterback because that's again something that can it can be rallied in, right? Like
yeah, and
if you're out on the head coach and the coaching staff, like
you give up hope. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like when it's teammates butting head, it's more common, I feel like, just because you do butt heads in the locker room. You do get salty that you don't get a play that somebody messed up, so it's more of like a bro, what are you doing kind of thing, I feel like. But and then also a big difference about it is like that was one person that went to Josina Anderson, supposedly.
This was multiple,
a group of guys saying they don't want to play for a coach, which is huge.
Right.
And I love it. Because how long's his contract? Can they kick him out after? Like, what are they going to do?
I don't know what his contract was. I don't remember.
I think like 4 or 5 years, but
and I think this is another point too. Like, this is also Joe making this point that they're pros, not middle school kids, and I totally agree with that. I understand, like, it's what you're supposed to do, but at the end of the day, I think it's very easy for middle school and high school kids to buy into and support what adults and grown-ups are telling them to do. It's a lot harder for one grown-up to continuously corral and get other adults to believe and support and back what they're doing. So I think for NFL head coach, Doug Peterson, something we've always said about him is he's a phenomenal leader of men. And one of the things about Brett Brown was he wasn't. He was too much of a friend. He wasn't a good leader of adults. And when you got guys like Jimmy Butler, Al Horford, these veteran guys, they weren't about it. You know what I mean? So guys like younger guys, Ben, Joel, they like him. But when you get these veterans in here, they're not all about it. Doug Peterson has done a very good job with not only the Carson Wentzes who came in as a rookie when he came in as a rookie head coach, but the Jason Peters, and for the Super Bowl season, the Alshon Jeffrey, the LeGarrette Blount,
the big personalities,
all these guys coming in, and Doug Peterson has always had a very good culture in this locker room, and I think that's a very impressive. It's an impressive feat, especially when they've gone through some of the injuries and the questionable this, that, and the other move.
Agreed.
So, to sum up, we're playing the New York Giants, but Dallas sucks. So let's get into our prop bets. So while we're talking about these, please, please, please flood the comments with your answers. And we actually got some listener suggestions for some prop bets today, so we'll point those out as well. So first one, more passing yards, Carson or Daniel Jones?
Carson. I don't know why I had to think about it. I had to read it. It didn't process in my head when you first said it, and then I was like, yes.
Carson. Yeah, Carson. Carson, super agree. Carson. Look, there's Joe being for once. Carson Wentz. Yep, no question. I support. Carson Wentz, apparently, I don't know if this was the actual line or if someone just kind of threw this out there. Rushing yards, over under 16.5. He had 49 last week, but because he broke off a 40-yard run.
Yeah. Oh, rushing? I think over.
I love it. I support the over. Who else? Who supports the over? Come on, give it to me, people. Who supports the over here? Over under 16.5. Thank you, Chris. 16.5 rushing yards.
No, for sure. I mean, he doesn't have his top back. Everybody's going to be all over Boston. He does have success, like you mentioned, against the Giants, but I don't know.
Let's see. Over. We got some more overs here. I love the overs.
I like it.
Over under. This is the actual line for tonight.
Ooh.
Over under 2.5 receptions for Deshaun Jackson.
Wait, 2.5 receptions?
Uh-huh. That's the line for tonight.
More than that.
I support you. I think
2.5 catches? That's nothing.
I support this. I support this with everything in me.
Am I weird for thinking 2.5 catches is nothing? And that's their line? Because Vegas knows. So maybe Vegas knows more than us.
Think about what Deshaun has and has not done. Oh, okay. Sweet God. I don't have time for this Bleacher Report notification.
What is it?
Do you have it? Eagles were shopping Zach Ertz until he injured his ankle.
I saw somebody tweet today that it was going to be hard to sell him if he's on the IR. And I was just like,
I'm not surprised.
No. Disappointed.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Okay, we've got more under. Yes, under, but 2 long ones. I support that as well. Over under 110 calories today. Is this because your Fitbit stopped working?
Yes, because my Fitbit didn't work. I was very angry about that.
Saw that.
I think I fixed it, but
I know what you're doing. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, so then this is one that I threw in there to just follow up our last question. Over under 2 50-plus yard catches for Deshaun tonight.
under.
See, I think he's going to have like 3 receptions and 2 of them are going to be 50-yard bombs. That's my opinion.
would love that. I would love it. But I could see one.
One.
Maybe the second one they target him, go downfield to him, and then he drops it because that's the Eagles season.
Please, God, no.
And then you're that close.
God, no. Would love it. Yeah, see, that's what we would all love. I
know. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think these corners are going to be able to, like, if Deshaun just goes out there and runs, like, every couple plays, it just needs to run. I'm telling you.
But how fast is he now? So he's had an ab injury and then had an hamstring injury and hasn't run at all really in between. He's run, obviously, but.
He's still fast, and I think that's the scary part.
We'll see. Time will tell, Jess. We got like an hour until kickoff?
Even Darius Slay was like, he's still the same. Like, he's still.
Okay, then I like that. I'd take that. That's valid. Okay.
Ho.
I like it. See, Eric thought 2.5 was low as well.
Okay, I love it. Hightower will get the other 50-plus yard. He has to catch them.
I know, but one of these times, that's a good prediction, though, because one of these times, they keep targeting him. One of these times, he's going to catch it.
Yeah, I hope it's soon.
One of these times.
I hope he stops dropping them and just starts catching them. That's all I.
Hey, high-stakes games.
That's apparently too much to ask for from a wide receiver. Over under 2 turnovers for the Eagles defense today. Do they force
defense?
I'm going over. I think the defense has a big day. I think they just absolutely.
I think I'm going to push it.
Okay. So you think too?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. What does everybody else think? How many turnovers for
over?
Over. I so support it. I think they're going to have.
I love the optimism. I'm all about it.
All right. We got someone else agreeing with you. We're pushing here.
Yeah, pushing.
Wow. Okay. Joe just said you were soft. Is the soft way to go, apparently. Yikes.
But it's a good number.
In here.
I'm not a gambler. I just say what I think's going to happen. And if it's the number I think, I push.
Right. Push a strip sack and an interception. I will take that. I will absolutely take that. I'm still waiting for Darius Slay to have his time here.
Yeah, right? That would be amazing.
All right. Well, no. Okay. I was going to say over under 3 sacks for the Eagles defense.
I can't push it, so I'll say over. No. I can't push it after somebody just called me out for pushing it out, Joe. So I'll go over.
Joe. He's sitting there dying laughing. I think Brandon Graham alone is going to have 3.
Ooh. I think Fletch definitely has one. I can see BG getting 2.
I think BG is feeling himself right now, and he's just.
I can see BG getting 1 or 2, and then Fletch getting the other ones to make up 3.
6 or 7, 6. Oh, I would love for Fletcher. If Fletcher Cox has a multi-sack game tonight, it'll be a good day.
That's what I'm saying. I think Fletch is coming in. I think he's going to have a big one.
Josh Sweat having 2. Josh Sweat is like.
I feel comfortable with the over now because you kind of talked me into BG having multi-sack night. I think Fletch will get one because I think he's going to have a good night. And then I could see a Josh Sweat one. So there could go 4. So I'm in on the over. You sold me.
Let's see. Over. One of the better defensive lines in the NFL. Sweat gets in on it too. I super support.
I like it.
Is that guy Derek Barnett on our team? Yes. And hopefully he lines up on the correct side of the football at least once tonight. Over under 3 sacks for the Giants defense. Just because.
No, because Lane's back. He won't let that happen. I think he'll get sacked maybe once or twice, but I don't see more than 2.
I'll go with you on the under. I support it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's believe in this offensive line. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Jordan Mailata's done pretty good, right? He's done a good job so far.
He has.
Lane Johnson's coming back. You got Jason Kelsey in there, and you got Matt Pryor again, right? So you should only have one little question mark ish.
And it's Lane.
So okay, push. All right, so here we go. Who is the Eagles' leader in receiving yards?
Fulgham. I'm feeling it.
Love me some Travis Fulgham. Did you see his Instagram post today?
Some people dream. No, living my dream, and it's other people's nightmares or something like that. It was some
dreams and nightmares, and I was like,
yeah,
let's go.
You weren't even here, but you know.
You absolutely. All right. Travis.
No, but I think it's either Travis or so Fulgham. I'm saying like first name basis because it's my boy. But yeah, so Fulgham or Deshaun.
You know what I think?
Because I think it's going to go one or the other. What?
I personally think that Travis Fulgham is the best wide receiver in the NFC East to wear number 13.
Boom. I don't know who the other 13s are off the top of my head, so you got to fill me in on that. Is CeeDee Lamb number 13?
No, CeeDee Lamb was forced to wear number 88 because.
Oh yeah, because what's his name wouldn't let him. Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry Jones is a psycho. But I believe it is Michael Gallup. So, but they're supposed to be this, phenomenal wide receiver tandem down there, and yikes! I don't disagree that Greg Ward needs to be used a lot more. I
agree. We saw him here and there last week, and he looked good.
Yeah. Also, how does Sam's meatloaf compare to Costco's? Sam's meatloaf recipe is the only meatloaf I will eat. 150
bangs.
I make it with ground turkey because I'm not a big ground beef person. You have to cook it about 10 minutes less, 10 to 15 minutes less on the first round. But this is absolutely true. Sam's meatloaf above anybody else's meatloaf. 100%.
I appreciate it, guys. I love it.
Over under 3 turnovers combined for both teams.
Over.
Yeah. I'm going to go over because we're going to force so damn many from the Giants.
Not on our part, on them.
Boston Scott will have over 50 yards receiving. Screen passes will be on point tonight. Ooh. That means that people have to actually block. Imagine that. We'll see how that goes. I hope so.
No, I mean, now we actually have a couple tight ends that will probably be majority blocking, so that could happen.
Mr. Jason Kroom. Kroom. 1 play, 1 touchdown.
I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't going to say his first name because I didn't know it. So there we go.
And I literally went, who is that guy?
Kroom. That's what we all did.
World?
Not knowing who he was.
All right. Leading fantasy points getter for the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, sweet God. I don't know if first of all, I don't know if there's enough wine in the world to go with if this happens. Not enough. There's not enough.
It took me a little bit to read that because I don't have my glasses on, but yeah, geez.
Over under White Snake gets a pass deflection. Get out of here. We don't talk about Nate Gary in this show.
That might be cool. I did bring him up earlier. Today's fair game. I brought him up earlier.
Travis Mania again for the fantasy points getter for the Eagles. I'm going to go Carson Wentz again.
Yeah, I think I might say Carson as well, just because he's going to have that 3 receiver, at least 3. I mean, obviously he has other guys, but I really see him kind of using Ward tonight, going to Fulgham, going to Deshaun. So he has those options. So I think it is going to – I could see it being Carson.
Oh.
I like Corey. I like him.
I want him to do well. He's just really disappointed me since 2017. All right, and the last prop bet we have. Oh, this is a good one. Will Quez Watkins have a catch tonight? We'll throw this out here really quick.
Oh, yeah, because I think they're going to go up because everybody thinks it's going to be a blowout, and then they'll give him more opportunities. I could see it. I like it.
3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing. All right, the last prop bet. Over under how many times there's a joke or a flub by the announcers of Darius Slay versus Darius Slayton. How many times do they either screw it up or make a joke about it?
I like it.
I'm going to say 3?
3. Yeah, I say over 3.
Over 3. Over 3. Over 3.
I like it.
3. Too many times. I think that's accurate. feeling a Jalen Hurts touchdown tonight
We
too.
could see some of that because it is a division game. They like to do all that fun stuff because it's going to be high stakes. And then also the fact that they don't have Sanders. They need more of a rushing
And again,
game, so
I don't mind the utilization of Jalen Hurts as long as it's in the appropriate ways. That 2-point conversion, not it. But you like a little spark to get them to go down the field. I liked that. Again, I do not love Carson Wentz also being on the field and being the lead blocker because on one of those runs, it was so close that he got his one leg out from being pulled up on, and it just
and you can't do that against a division rival, especially because of all the dirty play that's going to go on. You can't do that.
Right. And it's not even like it's like on purpose dirty play. It's just like the level of adrenaline that you have.
The passion.
It's at the link. There are fans that are going to be there. They're wearing the all black. Like they're doing the prime time versus the Giants.
All black B-Dog.
Let's go. I should have put my Deshaun jersey on. What the heck am I? Sorry, I decided to rep the babes on Broad.
I was going to until Dion told me to wear my black jersey. And I was like, smart. Blackout.
I have black sweatpants on. I'll have to go change my black jersey. Black tonight. All right. Quick trivia. We're going to run through these pretty quick. Thursday Night Football. Doug Peterson's record since he's been the head coach of the Eagles. What is it? It's a good one, let me tell you.
It's positive.
It's also they've all come in like must win or must prove ourselves situations. So what is Doug Peterson's record? Flood the comments. Doug Peterson's record on Thursday Night Football.
After we get a couple guesses, we'll give you how many games.
Yeah. I mean,
Doug
Peterson's only been the coach here for a few years, people. Nope.
Close.
So close. Nope. You have the right number of games.
You do have the right number of games.
5 games. What is the record? I can't believe no one's getting this yet because it was like a big thing they talked about.
Oh, he's cheating.
He's not cheating. We talked about it earlier this week. He knows. He's smart. He knows. 5-0. Doug is 5-0. And it was actually funny because he made a joke in the press conference earlier this week. He was like, yeah, I'm 5-0 on Thursday night. My wife keeps asking me why I create such good game plans in one day to win on Thursday night, but can't get good game plans together when I have a whole week to prepare. And I was like, one of us.
It's that second guessing. Second guessing gets everybody, though.
Because Doug Peterson's wife is one of us. That's what
I know. That's funny.
5-0 on Thursday night. Let's go. The Eagles are currently on a win streak versus the Giants in the series. What is their win streak that they're riding right now? Obviously, it's something to know. What is it? It dates back. Actually, we'll go get a couple guesses in, and then I'll let you know when it dates back to.
Oh, they already got it.
Oh, smart people. We've got smart people in here.
Oh,
no, they're riding a 7-game win streak dating all the way back to 2016. So I think Doug lost his first game against the Giants and hasn't lost since.
Oh, you're the one with the memory. I don't know which one we lost.
That's not true because Eli played Monday Night Football last year. Eli started that game on Monday Night Football last year. I was there. It was pouring. They lost. It was in overtime. Remember, Sidney Jones had the game-saving play in overtime. Anyway, to send the game to overtime to make sure that the Giants did not win. In the series between the Eagles and the Giants, what is the all-time record? Currently, today, before their game is played tonight, all-time record, Eagles and Giants.
Oh, geez.
I will give you a hint, just because we're going numbers here. The Eagles are on top, but not by much.
I'm looking at the numbers.
Higher, more numbers.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised. When I saw it, I was like, this is what, going to be Super Bowl, 50 or 60? Is it 60 this year?
No, because the Eagles only won 52, and that was 3 years ago.
So 56.
55.
55.
55.
Whatever.
Math.
So, but you would think, and you play them 2 times, there you would think there'd only be like a little over 100 matchups each. I'm surprised by the number.
This is so close.
It is so close.
This is so close. It's unreal how close that is. It's unreal how close that is.
Gotta go back to see.
It's unbelievable how close. that was.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should just give it to Chris because he's got it,
He did.
basically.
Chris wins. The record is 88, 86, and 2 with the Eagles on top.
So you were just 2 games short, Chris.
Yeah, that's impressive. What year did the first matchup take place? If you remember, a couple weeks ago, we talked about what year the Eagles were established as a football team. Impressed with you, Chris. No, it was not 1969. All that matters is 1-0 today. No, not around in 1927. Too early.
Close though.
Couple years off. High.
Little bit too high.
A little bit too high.
Actually, right in the middle from the. Oh no, not right in the middle, but
it's somewhere between 1927 and 1940.
Yep.
Stop it,
Mark. Being a jokester.
All right, you got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 1. So close, but no. 1933. That's when the Eagles were the football team. And last trivia question here. What is the longest win streak in the all-time series between the Eagles and the Giants? So who has the longest win streak and how many games was it? I'll give you a hint. It's more than the 7-game win streak they're on right now. This is not the longest one.
That was a good hint. Could have been a trick.
Correct. 12 games in a row. Oh, and you ruined it. It wasn't the Giants. It's 12 games in a row, but the Eagles. 12-game win streak for the Eagles. I believe it was between the 70s and the 80s. It was a 12-game in there. But that is going to wrap us up for today. So unfortunately, boo the Giants. So we're coming to the end of our pregame live. Thank you again for tuning in for another week. Thank you for being here with us. Make sure you go turn on. I don't know if it's happened already, but we'll have to make sure we find it. If Giovanni's little interview that he did earlier this week hasn't been on ESPN yet, make sure you check it out so you can see it before the game tonight. I'm super excited to watch it. Love that kid. We will be on with him next week. He will be on with us next week. It's going to be a whole exciting week of
Babes and Geo matchup.
Very exciting week.
Or mashup.
So yes, make sure you look forward to our episodes this week. We'll probably get one out tomorrow. Tomorrow or Saturday, there'll be one coming out recapping tonight's game. And then there'll be another one next week previewing Sunday Night Football with the Dallas Cowboys. So make sure to check those out. Also, I hope you saw on our social medias today, we have launched our very first fundraiser. So the link to our fundraiser you can find on our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter as well. We'll keep posting it throughout the week for the next 10 days. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to continue to post different shirts and different items every couple weeks that are supporting different foundations or charities. So for the next 10 days, we're going to continue to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and all of the proceeds from these shirts, there's t-shirts, there's long t-shirts, there's sweatshirts, there's all kinds of different fun things on there. They're going to all support the National Breast Cancer Foundation, which is a foundation that supports early screenings, early detections, as well as breast health awareness and support for breast cancer patients and survivors. So please go support that. Check that out for the next 10 days. That's what that's going to be to support. Make sure you're keeping an eye out for our next one. They'll keep changing every couple weeks, as I said. So go and check that out. We both ordered today little pink crew neck sweatshirts to support breast cancer this month. I'm super excited.
And it's a cool design.
Yeah, it's super cute. We're little bobbleheads.
It's our faces.
You can wear shirts with our face on it. It's very exciting. But until we talk to you tomorrow or Saturday, cheers, enjoy your drinks, enjoy your food, go Birds, and let's hope for an awesome Birds win, a dominant win.